George Washington, the father of a nation. His face is on the dollar bill, and his name is on the Capitol of the United States. We've all heard the story of the young boy who cut down a cherry tree and confessed because he could not tell a lie. But what if I told you that most of what you know about him is a myth? The cherry tree never happened. It was a story invented by a biographer to turn a man into a god. The real George Washington was far more complex, far more human, and lived a life filled with more physical pain and personal contradictions than history books usually reveal. Today, we peel back the layers of the legend to find the man. Have you ever noticed that in almost every portrait, Washington looks incredibly stern? He never smiles. There's a reason for that, and it wasn't just because he was a serious man. Washington suffered from horrific dental problems his entire life. By the time he became president, he had only one natural tooth left in his mouth. There is a common legend that he had wooden teeth. This is false. The truth is much darker. His dentures were crafted from a gruesome combination of hippopotamus, ivory, gold, lead, and most disturbingly real human teeth, purchased from enslaved people. These dentures were held together by heavy metal springs that constantly tried to force his mouth open. To keep his mouth shut for a portrait, he had to clench his jaw with immense effort. Every heroic look we see today was actually a man in constant, agonizing pain. As a leader, Washington was defined by his restraint. After leading the Continental Army to victory against the British Empire, he could have been king. His soldiers were ready to crown him, but he chose to walk away. This act of giving up power is what truly made him a revolutionary. But even as he built the foundation of the presidency, he was a man caught between two worlds. Did you know that George Washington is the only U.S. president who never lived in the White House? He spent years supervising its design and construction in the city that would bear his name. He walked the halls while they were still under construction, but he left office in 1797, 3 years before the building was ready for its first resident, John Adams. He built the House of Power, but he never called it home. We cannot talk about Washington without addressing his greatest contradiction: freedom. He fought a war for liberty, while owning hundreds of enslaved people at his Mount Vernon estate. Throughout his life, he struggled with the morality of slavery, yet he relied on it to maintain his wealth. In his final will, he ordered that his slaves be freed after his wife's death, a gesture that separated him from many other founding fathers, yet one that came far too late for the hundreds who lived and died in bondage under his name. This is the duality of Washington, a man of immense integrity who was also a product of his flawed time. George Washington wasn't a perfect statue. He was a man who suffered from toothaches, who dealt with political rivals, and who was constantly worried about his legacy. Perhaps he is more inspiring not because of the myths, but because he was a flawed human, who managed to hold a fragile new nation together through sheer force of will. What do you think is the most surprising fact about the first president? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.